My wife Judi had a very humble beginning. Her father was a coal miner in northeastern Kentucky. Due to heart disease, her mother died when she was 7. To find better work, her father took her to Baltimore, Maryland, where he got a job at a steel mill as a painter. Judi's life improved steadily as she grew up. Her father married again to give her a mother, and they bought a nice little row house just a couple blocks from a Methodist church. In those days, the Methodists believed in Jesus and family. Judi made the church her second home. There, she joined a church club called the Playmakers. She discovered that she had a passion for drama and realized she had a singing voice, and soon the church knew it too. The activities at church kept her very busy. Occasionally, she would be asked to sing at weddings and other events. Unknown to her, the Lord was guiding her into a particular project that He had planned for her. A few blocks away from her, an old Jewish man had rented a room in a private home. He could afford a home of his own, but he chose the simplicity of this life because he didn't want to squander his money on himself. Instead, he looked for ways to help young people achieve better lives. His landlady told him of a young girl she heard singing at church. The old man's name was Mr. Finkelstein. He wrote Judi a letter asking if she would like to attend Peabody Conservatory of Music in the heart of the city, and that he would be pleased to send her. She accepted, and with Mr. Finkelstein's help, Judi was able to have voice training for 3 years at one of the best music conservatories in the United States. Judi realized that her voice was good, but it wasn't good enough for a career. So she sought employment at Fort Meade, Maryland, where she got a job in the photo lab. Shortly after that, I was assigned to the photo lab, and we met. Almost 2 years later, we married. I was an atheist, and Judi was a Christian with very little Bible knowledge. Neither one of us could see how God was directing our paths. By 1982, I was a believer, and we started attending a Methodist church near home. Almost immediately, Judi joined the choir and even acted in a couple of church plays. She and the music director were best friends and wrote cantatas together. Time went by, and 2 years later we were in a different and much larger church. Of course, Judi was drawn to the choir. From time to time, she was asked to sing solos, and that is where she really shined. One day she got an idea to act as characters from the Bible, like the woman at the well. These one-person acts were well received at church. Our pastor was always happy when Judi had something to present. She branched out with a new skill. She wrote plays with music and directed the plays and sang in them. I think it was the last time she performed. She could feel the guidance of the Holy Spirit as she sang a song called "I Give You Jesus." He whispered to her, "As you sing, reach out and touch the people I tell you to touch." She walked around the church singing as the Holy Spirit told her to touch a particular man. As she sung, "I Give You Jesus," she touched the young man on the head. He was seated in an aisle seat. About 2 weeks later, a woman told Judi that the young man she touched was her son. The experience moved him to recommit his life to the Lord. Hey, if you want more content like this, then please click the like button. Thank you. The next day, he drove down to Florida to visit his 2 kids. His estranged wife denied him permission to see them. Being distraught and angry, he went into the woods and shot himself. His mother asked Judi if she thought he was in hell. The words practically jumped out of Judi's mouth as she explained to her what the Holy Spirit had told her to do. She assured her that the God she knows would not have set things up to have him sit in an aisle seat so that he could be touched during the song if God was going to condemn him a few days later. Tears of relief trickled down her face. We cannot speak for God, as a rule, but I am convinced that this was a good call. A few weeks after that, our pastor accepted a position at a church in Iowa. We were heartbroken. Judi and I left soon after his departure. Looking back, we realized that this last cantata was the end of Judi's ministry. We did attend a couple of other churches, but they were dead, and we withdrew. Judi touched a lot of lives with her plays, Women of the Bible, and her music, but we both agree that her main purpose was to touch that young man. God is extravagant that way. We talk over coffee every morning, and one morning she lamented that she really hasn't done much for God. I disagreed. I thought about her despair, and I realized that she had a bigger assignment than she thought, and it is not over yet. She was the spiritual force in our home when our family was young. Thanks to her, our children have a personal relationship with the Lord. In addition, she is the one that put me on the road to salvation. She has been my helpmate through thick and thin. She was there to celebrate when things went well, and she was there to comfort me when they didn't. Imagine a girl from the hills of Kentucky sent to one of the most prestigious schools of voice in the United States at no cost to her by a Jewish man who did not know Jesus. Why? So that she could sing and perform in a Christian church to fulfill God's purposes. This was God at work, switching the roads of life, opening some doors and closing others, weaving other people's lives together for His purposes, all while the participants are not even aware of what He is doing. I am reminded of another woman who, like my wife, had a humble beginning. She and her husband had a dairy farm. She not only had the workload of a farmer's wife, but she was the spiritual teacher of her 4 children. How would you measure the accomplishments of Morrow Graham, the mother of Billy Graham?